You're watching the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. From Indianapolis, Indiana, it is the Birmingham Legion taking on the Indy 11. Both sides hoping for a lot of goals and a doggone good time. Both in need of victories late in the season. It's a runaway at the top of the Eastern Conference. Louisville and Charleston still jousting for the Players' Shield. Rhode Island sits in the 8th and final playoff position. Indy 4 points out, Birmingham 8. And good evening, everyone. Joined by Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand. And both these teams are no stranger to the playoff contention situation this time of year. I think both are a little unfamiliar with being this far out. It's time to put up or shut up.
This will be the most difficult stretch of the season, and it's not because of tactics or results. It's because of the mental war of attrition. No team has a winning streak greater than 3 all season long, nor an unbeaten streak better than 4. But as you dive deeper, the injuries, the belief has to be retained here. So as we start with Indy 11, you still have hope, Mike. The run-in, sure, it's going to be difficult, but you still have 6 games and 18 points to be able to get yourself over the line. The problem within all of that is the teams that you're going to have to face. Indy, Tulsa, top of the Western Conference. Louisville, top of the town, the best team in USL Championship. And Orange County, the second best home team in the Western Conference. Don't let your mind stray from what are all the white noises around you. Instead, trust the process and just focus on the next 90 minutes. Very similar conversation for Mark Briggs and the Birmingham Legion. The difference here for the Birmingham Legion, their strength of schedule becomes a little bit lighter, all the way down to 7th. Indy was at 2nd. 2 of the 7 in front of us here tonight. They've also, though, struggled against teams currently above the playoff line. San Antonio, defensively very good. The problem against San Antonio, not only are you on the road, Mike, San Antonio has found something attacking-wise. Now 8 goals in their last 2 matches. Charleston retain the best home record in all of the championship.
So both these sides know it'll be quite difficult to make the postseason, but it has to start somewhere. It has to start tonight. It is the 15th all-time meeting between Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion. The championship is on CBS Sports Network, and it's coming up next. You're watching the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Sunday afternoon, and you're at that time of year, middle September, where you need the points. Birmingham and Indy, they know desperation tonight. Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, take a look at the Indy 11 starting lineup there. Without Elvis Amo due to suspension. They're without Malik Foster due to injury.
Edward Kizik comes into the front line. Like-for-like replacement in that situation. What you want is Jack Blake underneath to make sure that he's got balance in that 10-type role. He likes to fluctuate to the left. Love the relationship that he's been able to create and maintain with Aiden Quinn. But I want to see that balance on the right-hand side, inject some confidence in Joey Zielinski, a very attack-minded, direct style of play for Indy 11. Mark Briggs, as they roll out their 3-4-3, he too will give a lot of freedom on that front line. Now, Damas has pace. It's the two underneath, Enzo Martinez and Dawson McCartney. The level of creativity that you need to get out of them. This can't just be direct football. Have to be able to create interplay underneath, put real pressure on that back line of Indy 11. And the key question for them tonight, you have to be able to maintain organization. They've wandered a little bit too much within that back three. That's about communication, Mike, and belief. Stay within the next 90 minutes.
Birmingham Legion just one win in their last 11 games. They got the new coach bump, and they are skidding toward the end of the season. Mark Briggs led Sacramento to tremendous success. It is his 19th game in the regular season at the helm for Birmingham. Conversely, for Indy 11, Sean McCauley, 52 years old from Sheffield, England. Once upon a time, he was the Sheffield Wednesday caretaker twice over. That was about 15 years ago. And was most recently at Minnesota United. The Indy 11 side without Malik Foster moving forward, injured his groin in training this week, could well end his season. Elvis Amo unavailable, and so they are so thin in the attacking area off the bench tonight. And a Birmingham team with some big names like Ronaldo Damas, Enzo Martinez. Can they start to pile up goals? They need them now. Alyssa Pennington is our referee tonight, a regular within the championship. Dotting I's, crossing T's. And we're ready to go tonight. Opening kickoff between Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion. We're getting to the point where you begin to call it a must-win. From the mic in Indianapolis. Zielinski tried to stop play, and Travis ran right through it. He'll bring it back. Birmingham has more questions than answers. To be fair, I'll admit I'm becoming a tad confused as well.
Making friends early. Joey Zielinski, only coming over from St. Louis City. Love the pace and the confidence that he's able to create on the out-hand side. This right flank for Indy 11, one of those guys just caught in the gray area, Mike, of first-team football for his parent organization. Needs the vital minutes. Great relationships for Sean McCauley, enabled them to go get him. Ryan Schaefer, another one that's come over from FC Cincinnati organization, center back position on the back line, a youngster at 23 years of age, but surrounded by a lot of experience. Ben Ofemu, James Musa.
And then you add Luke Pruder in the back, and you've got three loanees you've acquired in the last month, starting a must-win tonight. 4 points from 8th place, so nothing from a mathematical standpoint, Devin's going to be decided this evening. Neither team's going to get eliminated.
This is a little bit more so about what can you create on the run-in. 3 points necessary, yes, especially to really grab a stranglehold on one of those final positions, but will not eliminate them. The idea of maintaining consistency down the stretch is the bigger concern for both of these managers, and also the biggest takeaway out of a result here tonight. Talking to Sean McCauley, 6 games remaining, including this match against Birmingham Legion, and said very clearly, what do you need to get out of that? said the must-wins are at home. The 3 final home matches, including this game, we have to take 9 points away from that. If we can steal on the road, we'll put ourselves in a good spot. But no ifs, ands, or buts. Must win in the final 3 games and 9 points available.
Well, they get a top 4 Loudoun team in the East, the top team in the West, Tulsa, and this Birmingham team. So in theory, this should be the easiest of the 3. Of course, theory very rarely translates. Ofemu sends centrally. Schaefer touches over. Aiden Quinn. Murphy. Blake. 9 goals, 4 from the spot this year for Blake. He's on it now. Blake rolls, tapped over to Zielinski, pops backside. A bad effort from Blake at the end. Of course, none of that counted.
Much better, though, from Indy 11 over the last 3 matches, and the reason being Cam Lindley releasing himself in a higher position defensively. You've still got the coverage of James Murphy underneath, but that gives Jack Blake options. The ability to start to float out of those central locations, gives himself more space to go and attack the game, Mike, and be the creator that's so needed.
There's Ronaldo Damas, maybe the most dominant playoff scorer in league history, 9 and 9. Of course, you have to get there to have a chance to add to that. 10 goals this season. Leading scorer in this game tonight. Has 10 of their 30. Won the championship in Orange County a few years back.
Not bad from the full Haitian international, though I think playoff Patino, Santi Patino in San Antonio would have something to say about the level of success come postseason time. Certainly doesn't hurt. He helped his team put a star above the crest back in 2022.
Hold up from Damas. Got knocked down. Ofemu was trying to hold him up. Zielinski tried to come away with it. He's already drawn the referee's whistle twice, Zielinski. Header from Musa will skim out for a corner. Musa was part of Sean McCauley's Minnesota United team back in 2020.
IBEW corner kick for Birmingham Legion FC.
Corner coming here. And Dawson McCartney will do the honors. Mickelhatton, header across the face, Ofemu. Service through, Damas trying to pull this back. Touched wide by Murphy. Now the reach of Aiden Quinn. Zielinski tried to get in there instead. Jackson Travis. And that'll play. Lindley. If you looked at me this week, you go, how's Cam Lindley, 28 years old?
Unreal. It's the amount of time that we've seen him in top flight football since coming out of University of North Carolina. Carlos Samuano. 2017 was his final year at the Division I level. That would make me how old?
a long, long time ago.
It's been fun to see the evolution of guys like Cam Lindley, Jack Blake. You mentioned Aiden Quinn a second ago. Who knew that Aiden Quinn had it in his bag, playing the wingback spot?
I mean, not just playing wingback, but also, you know, welcoming a second child to the world this week. Congratulations to the whole Quinn family. Lachlan joins the fray. They're already working on the left-footed nature.
I asked him what his secret was. It worked for his daughter. Good ball there.
Blake toward Williams, bit of a collision. Chiza. Lindley back through, header from Quinn. Sent away by Daly. So how's Lachlan going to be left-footed?
Little Vaseline massage on the bottom of the left foot every single night. I'm 0 for 2, so little late to the game. But with 3, you know, you go 1 for 3. That'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think my son's going to have 2 left feet.
Someone's got to take after the dad.
Ofemu. Lindley. Zielinski. Crow hops down the line, left that short. Travis, Mississippi native, came up through the Rapids, chance to develop, get some more time pro level here. And it is a fellow Mississippian saying, hey, scoot back. Melissa Pennington is the first Mississippi native to earn the FIFA badge as a referee. This bouncing and lifted by McCartney, out of play.
Only 2 looks in the opening 10 minutes for Birmingham Legion. But notice how quick they play up over the back line. You get a lot of aggression out of Indy 11. So with it, it's quick decision making, speed on the front line, but to act on it is the most important thing. Can't be any hesitancy. Well represented there. What you want to keep an eye on here, Mike, is Jackson Travis on the left, Amir Daly on the right. Both of them really good with the ball at their feet. They like to play in the channels up high, but they will invert themselves. As they do it, that can put a lot of pressure on the outside of the field. They want to put the ball on the deck, playing combination play. But if you release in, that back 3 have to make sure, constant communication, you're rotating out to shut down those lanes.
Travis chopped down by Zielinski, did a wonderful job to keep that in. That's 3 fouls committed by Zielinski, and he's probably marching toward persistent infringement.
Surprised the referee hasn't shut it down already, saying I've had enough. Some of it is his rambunctious nature.
What's the argument here?
Don't know what he could be saying. It's physical, hands are away from the body. Always going to get you in trouble. And I protect defenders, you know me.
Oh, I know.
Can't stand up for you in that situation. But also something that if you're the Legion, start to continue to push that narrative. Make him feel uncomfortable. He's rattled in the opening 12 minutes.
Kruder awaits on the line. 5 Birmingham players lined up for it. They go for goal and score. Oh, that goal is unreal. And Birmingham steals one inside a dozen minutes. Peter Lee Vassell, the Jamaican international's first goal for the Legion. Legendary.
Goalkeeper gets caught cheating a little bit to the back post. Luke Pruder. You have to account because of the right and left footer for the ball that could be bent out, swung to the back post, but also coming direct to the near side. Little bit slow in his reaction. His feet get caught up underneath him. Great recognition. To go direct on goal in that situation. A ton of guts too, Mike.
Devin, you and I were looking around trying to figure out where has he been This is a guy who, with the Reggae Boys, played against the U.S. national team in 2022. He signed as a spokesman for Gatorade that year, and then he just fell off the face of the planet and arrives here in Birmingham.
Back home to Montego Bay, bounced around a little bit. Top flight football was always within reach. Everybody wanted him. Fell out of favor with a couple of managers, lost a little bit of the love for the game, but quickly making a home here under Mark Briggs.
Peter Lee Vassell actually was the MLS Caribbean Combine MVP. So that got him drafted to LAFC. He was playing at the time at Harborview, which is a really solid club in the Jamaican Premiership. Went from Los Angeles to Phoenix, a stint in Indy where he scored 3 goals over 20 games in 2021, then Hartford in 22, and then disappeared until arriving at Montego Bay again in 2025.
As good as his form was, he also fell behind a cast of characters that were in even better form for teams that you're talking about all-timers. The Phoenix Rising team of 2019, otherworldly in the Western Conference, set all kinds of records on the attacking side of football. On loan from his parent club, yeah, you're just playing behind Carlos Vela and LAFC. I mean, you're stuck in a midfield where he just wasn't getting enough reps. Really good footballer, can play back to goal, drops out of the pocket. But to cap it all, a wonder strike to get this game going.
That is a corner. Much consternation, and it did appear to catch the thigh of Afemu right at the end. And Vassell goes quick. McCartney hits the service, and this header out of play. And a chance for us to tell you you can show off your team pride in style. Official merch from shopusl.com. Check out brand new tees, hoodies, novelty items, and more of your favorite USL team at shopusl.com by scanning the QR code now.
Saw San Antonio on the left side of that. Maybe we could get Mitch Tainer to sign one for you.
Oh, that'd be nice.
See the ball he hit in the game yesterday?
Is that included in novelty items?
Yeah. Not sale, that's for sure.
True enough. McCartney hits it long. Driven away by Schaefer. I sort of wondered what a novelty item meant in this context, and my first thought is some random gritty related gnarly looking mascot stuff.
Is that what you thought it was?
Yeah.
A tumbler would have been fine for me.
Chizza able to streak in, win the ball. Mario Williams. There's Cam Lindley. Skitters over top of Delgado. Matt Van Oekel turned 39 years old yesterday. 50 career clean sheets. But it is the 19-year-old Fernando Delgado gets the call to start on this occasion. Thomas couldn't hold it up. Blake hits it wide. Here's Musa. Kavita. Mir Daly. Off of Quinn.
One would imagine that.
USL All Access this week, Quinn did.
Always good for a solid shot with the hairstyle.
Yeah.
Tried to encourage him to shave it. Said the wife wouldn't appreciate it.
Well, he was part of the great FC Cincinnati team that went to the Open Cup semifinal back in 2018. So everyone was buzz cuts and bleached hair. He said that is not happening again. I said if he came with bleached hair for this game, I'd join him. I think that would be 3 rather frustrated wives involved in that. Pruder in on loan from Columbus. Zielinski. Romario Williams making friends, to your point, influencing people. Hamoda rolled up. Driven away by Schaefer. Travis. Martinez. That will be a corner.
Frustration there, Brian Schaefer. I was with him. Thought he did a really good job squaring up, using the weak side support to create the 2v1 against Ronaldo Damas. To be fair, 20 minutes in, they've isolated him well. They've got proper coverage defensively. The problem is this is space in front, and it's been the issue for Indy 11 all season long. They transition, but not always as 3 units together.
Little room here for Travis. That got cut off. McCartney swings it. Blake down, Murphy couldn't hang on. Vassell, Pruder with rapid distribution. And a rapid counter following the set piece. And McCartney was trailing, but apparently in the right place at the right time. Ooh, Damas extra. We're going back and forth, and
what you're not going to see on the step as the other side is Sam McElhatton pulling himself out of the midfield, operating as a right back. Kavita came high. Great step in. There's the 3 Sparks pulled up. They're allowed to quickly come the other direction. As many opportunities that are created between the two, moving high up on the field in order for them to maintain success and give them any shot at postseason play. They have to be better at condensing these units. That's simple. Ceiling certainly high enough to compete with some of the best in the championship. A level of consistency just off. And that's really been the story from day one.
I think the bigger problem in this game is Just based on the last statement, I'm not sure which team you're talking about.
It's both.
It's both,
Yeah,
right?
it's exactly both. I still go back to the belief. It's easy to get lost in all of the variables, Mike. Oh, you know, if you're Indy, we've conceded here, but we scored good goals, and you know, we took down Hartford 3 matches back, but then we fumbled against Louisville in the first half, ended up losing 3-1. Forget about all that, right? You take your failures to learn to create success, but only apply it here. Don't worry about what is the next 6 games. Worry about what is right here in front of you. Same conversation for Mark Briggs and Birmingham Legion. Take the veteran experience of Enzo Martinez. Utilize the speed of Ronaldo Damas. New additions to the team earlier this season, and just recently, McElhatton and Peter Lee Vassell play off of each other. The talent is there, no doubt about that.
Aiden Quinn, Jack Blake. There was a USL Hall of Fame. They'd both be either in it or on their way to it. This runs away from Zielinski, who is not related to the Auto Parts King. Zielinski. It's easy work for Delgado, who once upon a time debuted 15 years old, the youngest goalkeeper in the championship. That was October 2021, which is to say he is still very young, especially as a goalkeeper. 11th start with the club, 3 last year, 8th now this year.
Also a display of the tentacles of Mark Briggs reaching out to former RSL Monarchs organization. His time there, certainly an understanding of what that young man was within the academy. Always had a good ear on the pulse of talent that was coming up through. Still trying to find a way here. Birmingham Legion throughout this season. Departure of the only head coach and one of the longest in USL Championship, Tommy Sohn. Mark Briggs came in, attempted to stabilize, players in, players out, injuries, constant fluctuation within the lineups. Same idea with the results overall. Hovering near the playoff line, dropping below. But the names on this roster. Damas won a title, was the MVP of the final back in 2021 with Orange County. Enzo Martinez, as you mentioned, atop what most people would call the USL Championship Mount Rushmore. Already discussed. Peter Lee Vassell, Fanuel Kavita, and AJ Patterson, the center back positions. Every single stop, it feels like, within the 11, they have the ability to compete with anyone. I'm looking around going, great, who's going to help lead us there? That's the big question for me, right? You don't have Matt Van Oekel in goal tonight. He's been in and out on the season at times, so you don't lean on the goalkeeping position. Enzo Martinez has bounced around within those conversations, though not necessarily a plenty recently. So within all the talent, young players, loanees, who's going to help get you over the line? I can tell you that I'm not sure, and I don't know if the group knows either. That's one of the other issues they're dealing with.
Yeah, you know, I spoke to Mark Briggs about a month ago, and he goes, this isn't holiday camp. You come to work to work. Still trying to get everybody bought in on that since he took over the club. He was pretty famous for running some pretty tough trainings in Sacramento over the years, Briggsy. Murphy. Aiden Quinn. Indy's 12th year. They joined the championship in 2018. They've been to the playoffs 4 times, including each of the past 2 seasons. Mario Williams holding up against Fanuel Kavita. 2 big bodies getting after it. Kavita just shoved him right off. Drops into space. Thomas nods it. Schaefer. All whipped across. Seeking Romario Williams.
With as direct as this team can play, I do feel that they've lost opportunities at times to create more combination play. Good look, right side of your screen, Cam Lindley, who had drifted over Jack Blake's left shoulder. The idea you're going to hit one from there, Jack Blake can do that. Romario Williams also is 2v1 on a ball that's going to bounce in front of him. He has to adjust, and as high as they've allowed Cam Lindley to play over the last couple of games, use that to your advantage. Right, head up, swivel a little bit more, and play off of each other.
Romario, 5 goals this year, 65 in his career, 14th in league history. He's one off the great Chandler Hoffman. And 3 back of Russell Cicerone in 11th. Saw Cal Jennings score again this weekend. He's into the top 3 all time. Just continues to pile them up. League leading 16th goal for Charleston. Does in his 148th appearance, the fewest to reach 80, now 81 goals his regular season career. Approaching half an hour here in Indianapolis. Ofemu dribbles to the edge of the penalty area. How quickly can Birmingham move the other direction? Not nearly quickly enough. Blake. Musa. And now Aiden Quinn.
Decision making needs to be quicker for Indy 11. When they play that first line off the back line, Mike, if it's Ofemu, Schaefer, or Musa, your first target, doesn't matter if you come central or to the outside, you bypass that line of 3. Now you've isolated your 2 dueling 8s. Puts a lot more pressure on the width of the field. You force them to shift into it. Instead, as you slow down, that enables the Legion to reassess exactly where they're lacking positionally, doing a really good job of stepping back in and providing proper coverage.
And a lift behind the goal, and it belongs to Birmingham. Only 2 wins on the road this year, but they have taken results in 8 of 11 games. 6 road draws. 5 times the playoffs in their now 7th season. Have never reached the Eastern Conference Final. Dev, there's Louisville and Charleston 1-2, and they've pretty well established themselves. I think it would surprise nobody if we saw them in a conference final in the East. If it's not those 2 teams, who else maybe intrigues you as a potential team that could make that kind of playoff run out of the East?
The most definitive answer right now is Hartford Athletic. Attacking-wise, they're electrifying. They commit a ton of numbers forward. They play a million miles an hour. Their back line has become a lot more secure, staying in sync with the units in front of them. Anthony Siaha in goal has done well. Behind that, it becomes very wishy-washy, right? Because of the inconsistency of play. It feels like the Tampa Bay Rowdies are headed in the right direction. Not saying they're going to be that team, but that they have given themselves a shot to get into the playoffs. If they do, I would be concerned about them. Otherwise, for me, all bets are off outside of the top two in the East.
Besides both beneath the line and trying to squeak in here at the end, Zielinski just got turnstiled. That's a yellow card to Travis, first issued in this game. Bit ironic in the sense that Zielinski is the one committing the fouls early, but it's Travis who exacts the payback and receives his second card in 4 starts.
Well, the quicker the decisions, the more space you're going to have to operate within. Just said that about the balls that could come centrally. Like the idea here from Zielinski, not because of the one-on-one situation, but as high as he's able to get himself. Aiden Quinn doing a good job on the left, releasing. Zielinski a bit hesitant, Mike, to push that. Some of that comes with all the fouls that he's picked up, because if he goes, now he's got to be wary of the runs coming in behind. Jackson Travis doing a really good job putting pressure on him. Well done by Zielinski to maintain confidence.
Aiden Quinn and that cultured, potentially genetic left foot. His father, national teamer Brian Quinn. Aiden hits it back stick. The idea was good. Afemu was there, but it curls out of play. Unsurprisingly, he wants to coach when he's done. He said that and I went, well, of course you do.
Recognizing that teams don't open up their tactical sessions to the public, I'd be the first one to be a paying member. Yep. Sit down in front, take the first seat, pick the brain of a very talented young man that still has so much to offer the game. Pretty sure we're a couple of years away from having the conversation about him being involved in the technical area.
That's a painful foul suffered by McCartney.
They're trying to give both Dawson McCartney and Enzo Martinez, as they build coming forward, more ability to face the game and drive in. Enzo Martinez on the left, operating on his right foot. Dawson McCartney, his counterpart on the right, same thing, left-footed. You bring in, you put more pressure on the back three. The problem is the last couple of trips down, good pressure off the back line, and for Murphy and Lindley to step up into those dueling 10s, not allow those inversions to happen. If you see those things, now you play around it, right? The dueling 10s drop in, you want to play into feet, you start to bait the defenders behind him that are tracking. Utilize the width to your advantage.
Moda. Travis holding off. That battle continues. Ronaldo Damas and then Afemu. It's tug of war without the rope, these two. Little further out than where he scored direct off a free kick earlier, and you can assume that Pruder will be just a tad more aware of Peter Lee Vassell now. Travis allows this to scoot toward him. Mir Daly launches forward. Skims down to Quinn. Trying to let Chiza run onto it. All the contact, there's not a whistle to be blown. There's Schaefer. Good work by Lindley. Zielinski. Quinn wasn't going to count, perhaps as the offside flag goes up and now pulls level. Quinn was aware of that. The race to become European football royalty is back. Don't miss an epic match day one unfold. Midtjylland goes head-to-head with Sturm Graz at 12:45 Eastern. It is the UEFA Europa League on CBS Sports Network. Stream every match live on Paramount Plus. I'm just reading the pronunciations I got. This is a reminder, this headed back and snagged by Delgado, that I'm a lot better at pronouncing Manchester City than I am Midtjylland. There are certain announcers in other sports where you see them get the promo read and they go, Manchester City, as if the words were written.
Correct emphasis on the right syllable.
Yeah, well.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Denmark's got me. That's a language I struggle with.
Fortunately, they're not making you read out entire Lipa FC for this game.
Seems like a tongue twister, but eventually rolls really easy. Louisville, Indianapolis Proximity Association football contest.
Like riding a bike.
Yep. And that is just 2 games away. The second meeting between Indy and Louisville this year will come at Lynn Family Stadium. That could be the game that Louisville clinches the Players' Shield in back-to-back seasons. They are 6 points ahead of Charleston with 5 to play, and they hold the tiebreaker. So in essence, they are 7 up. Although I always preferred Sprite. Held up at the halfway line. Blake. Travis. Zielinski. Blake arriving, crossing too high for Chiza. Side-footed by Daly.
Both Jackson Travis and Amir Daly have done very well for themselves in the first half. Kept the game in front when the balls come up over their shoulder. Feeling quick little checks in behind them to see where the pressure's coming from. Good hold-up play to allow defensive support to come over. Hit the reset button.
Throw coming from Musa. By the way, mentioned Louisville there a moment ago. Congrats to Danny Cruz, youngest to 100 wins in the championship. Musa launches this in toward Ofemu. Zielinski, who you and I saw scored an incredible goal in the Open Cup with St. Louis earlier this year. Vassell, who scored an incredible goal tonight, overcooked that. Damas.
That's twice, though, they've come high, and the tempo off from Damas up top in the 9. Peter-Lee Vassell frustrated, I would be. He hesitates on the run, then has to check back into an onside position. Peter-Lee Vassell just wanted to play it through, and he's right. If you hold your run initially, allow that space to stay in front, then Peter-Lee Vassell can release the ball down in. You can use the speed that's out in front of you for Ronaldo Damas. Those are the little things that were just so seamless in nature in that incredible run of form back in 2021 for Orange County, title-winning team.
Enzo Martinez is down. And Indy will begin to carry it the other way. Enzo now draws into a tie for 5th, 277 career games on the same weekend in which Sean Tosh ties Canardo Forbes for most games in league history, 295. Forbes retiring to take a coaching position in Pittsburgh this year. And Tosh still going strong in Louisville. At 277, by the way, a tie for 5th with Jan Ekra. Appearances in the championship. Aiden Quinn sits third. He has his 285th appearance tonight. Schaefer, leaning header away by Hamoda. Whilst Birmingham try and streak ahead. And Musa will corral it.
During that conversation on USL All Access, SiriusXM FC, also available on the league's YouTube page, shameless promo. Loved how selfless Aiden Quinn always is. And when we asked him about his tenure, all of the stats that he's compiled during his illustrious career in USL Championship, pick out one that means the most to you. And it came down to availability, right? Appearances and minutes, and he just said that means I've been healthy, and also all of my teammates around me have given me the opportunity to constantly chase success. Aiden Quinn, 14 for Indy 11, always about providing the best options for his squad.
Zielinski's peeled himself back up. He's both given and received. Number of fouls tonight. Last couple minutes before halftime, Peterlee Vassell in the 12th minute. The difference at the moment. It moved Birmingham within a game of Indy and within 2 games of the playoff line with 5 to play. Service whipped across. Chesa leans it wide. Only 2 goals this year. He scored a dozen in Pittsburgh last season. And the native of Uganda just narrowly nods that off target.
Back to the combination, though. We keep referencing Cam Lindley coming back up high. Beautiful vision and touch pass by Aiden Quinn as he sets it up. Even though the first one doesn't come out, Cam Lindley doesn't rush it. Good patience to bring it back across his body, enabling him to put some air up underneath it, let that front line go chase, making something out of nothing there from Indy 11.
Here's Jack Blake. I'm going to hope he hit that too far for Chisa and that wasn't his attempt to catch Delgado. Knowing Jack, both are a possibility.
I was just going to say, the greatness that is Aiden Quinn is quickly shadowed by that man right there, Jack Blake. Set piece specialist, visionary for chance creation. And speaking of YouTube pages, you go check his out. He'll teach you how to hit the ball from anywhere on the field.
He used to be the, when he was with the Rowdies,
Blake Down.
The Blake Down, the tactical guru at league headquarters.
Easy.
You don't go to league headquarters.
I don't need anybody else taking jobs away from me. But certainly Jack Blake could.
It's a whole thing. Turning on the Jets, Vassell cuts it back, stands on the ball. Rolled over by Mickelhatton. Moda, another 45 ticks left in the 2 minutes of added time. Ball back from Williams, who caught it with his hand. Well, if you're Birmingham, you have the goal. It's off a set piece, nothing in the run of play. Speak of on either side, really. But if you get that 5th win tonight, it's all still out in front of you. Ooh, Blake concedes a free kick. We hit the 2 minutes, and it looks like Birmingham's going to have a chance to actually hit this. That ball is nowhere near frame, and you know time is running out, but
it's been a very good first half for this left flank for Birmingham Legion. Jackson Travis, the movement you've gotten out of Peter Lee Vassell. And that is an interesting decision by the referee.
You give the foul, but you don't allow it to be taken.
Indy 11 fans, season tickets for the
So Vassell scores 12 minutes in, his first of the season. Birmingham's got the lead at the break, Dev.
Mark Briggs is going to be happy with the goal for sure, but he's going to need more chance creation to maintain pressure on this back line of Indy 11, who felt like attack-wise they started to heat up as we head into the second half.
So Indy 11 is watching their playoff hopes dwindle. Birmingham may have their spark. First half highlights and a shot at glory when we come back. The USL on CBS Sports is presented by Best Western, the Circle City of Indianapolis on this Sunday night. The Indy 11 and Birmingham are at halftime. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr, we won't get to call it. We'll be watching like everybody else. The USL Jägermeister Cup hits its apex. The final is October 4th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Devin, no surprise the Neil Collins coach team reaches a cup final.
Defensively good, but now they've got the supplement on the attacking side of the football. Russell Cicerone heating up at the right time. Love the minutes management of Roro Lopez, but Jared Mazzola has been incredible throughout the cup run. Averaged just over a goal against his entire career. He's only given up 1 goal in 6 cup matches throughout this run to the final. Hartford Athletic, they're all about goals. From back to front, Anthony Siaha, good in goal. But then Production up top. Joey Farrell, Jordan Scarlett ushering it forward. They bring Haji Berry, and Michi Galina has found a whole nother form. They have everything of the makings of a cup title, and their first in organization history. I love the contrasting styles when you break down what has been in this tournament. And really, the story of both of these teams' seasons, Mike, defense first, absolutely, for Neil Collins. That's the most clean sheets in Jaeger Cup. Most goals scored by Hartford Athletic. Only one loss in 15 for Sacramento Republic. They'll host the final. Hartford Athletic have been perfect in their last 10 on the road.
And Hartford, the lone remaining undefeated team in Jägermeister Cup. Does that see them lift the trophy? These sides were quite competitive in that competition. They hope in a couple weeks' time they're still alive in this one. Championship regular season continues. It's halftime between Birmingham and Indy 11.
The USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. The Little Colts are out here taking in the atmosphere and, well, having a good time themselves. It is 1-0 Birmingham at halftime. Come back into the booth, everybody. Devin forgot his cheerleading outfit. Mike Watt's on hand as well. If you're going into the locker room, what kind of cheer are you leading?
You're happy if you're Mark Briggs and Birmingham Legion, for sure. You've gotten your goal. They certainly had the better of chances. To me, if I'm Sean McCauley, I'm looking around at everybody saying, where's my midfield? Where's our control within this game? They did have some chances going forward, but no one's really grasped the overall control in the opening 45 minutes. But let's take you to the goal, 12 minutes in. So vertical was certainly the conversation for both teams. The first one that ends up on the corner, foul for sure. But as the referee waits here on the restart, love the vision by Peter Lee Vassell. He's got the ability with the left footer to whip it to the backside. Instead, he goes direct off the right foot. Way too much space conceded on the near post by Luke Pruder, and he can't react quick enough. Again, his feet get caught up underneath him. Not proper form or explosion for the goalkeeper. A lot of back and forth, nothing really to write home about until you took advantage of the aggression. We leaned into the idea of Cam Lindley releasing on the right-hand side. Now, as Jack Blake pivoted there, Lindley, good understanding. He came lift to get the interchange off of Aiden Quinn. Very smart in the one-on-one. Cut back across, finds Edward Chiza. Nothing to come out of it, but certainly the best opportunity in the first half for Indy 11.
And that shows in the fact there are 0 shots on target. If this is a must-win game, it's a must-win 45 for both Birmingham and Indy. So Mark Briggs looking for as big a win as he's had as the manager in Birmingham. Sean McCauley in Indy maybe just trying to save their season. The second half is coming up next on CBS Sports Network. Time now for tonight's travel map. It's brought to you by Best Western. He took one shot, 0.04 XG. He's got the goal.
Efficient in the attack with just the lone strike. But what I loved about him was their ability to allow Peter Leavesell to go and chase the game. McElhatton had to hold down the fort underneath, so as he comes high, 11 of 16 in passing, a bit off in terms of completion percentage, but all 11 passes 40 yards and in for the Birmingham Legion. Now it's about Enzo Martinez and Dawson McCartney linking up with him. More activity from that front three.
Yep, just 70% passing in this game, but he's got the most important strike of all, and Indy 11 is up against the ropes. These sides entered the night 4 points apart. Birmingham can shrink that down to a single point. They'd be 5 points out of the postseason, and Indy would remain 4 out with 5 games remaining. Melissa Pennington sends us into the second half. Michael Carroll Stadium in Indianapolis holds about 10, 11,000. It's their home prior to entering the championship. Made the move over to Lucas Oil Stadium once they got into the league. Then much ballyhoo talk about 11 Park as well. Long-term home for Indy, very much the apple of the club's eye. Side with wins this year at Birmingham, but at Miami, against Monterey Bay, at home against Rhode Island, home against Miami, and that critical 3 points at Hartford a couple weeks ago. They need to sweep this series to feel good about what lies in store for them. One of the toughest remaining schedules in the championship. Both these teams face a top 8 schedule down the stretch. All flung off of Williams. If either of these teams get in, they'd either see Louisville, potentially you could see them get to the 7. That's 6 points away from Indy right now. With a win, Birmingham would be 7 points away. Do you see either of these teams as a legitimate threat in the first round to a Charleston or a Louisville?
No. That's how good Louisville and Charleston are.
And
anything is possible, but it is not hard to look at the seasons that we've had and say that the distance between the top end teams and contenders and everybody else has ever been greater than it is this year.
Now, the reason I say that is you're going to battle tooth and nail to get into the playoffs, potentially run into one of those two buzzsaws. It's a cruel world. Ball from McCartney. Sends Enzo Martinez splaying over. This will be a corner. Legion 5 points in 6 games under Tommy Sohn. He was out after a 6.5-year stint. The inaugural manager all the way back in April. End of April, Mark Briggs came in. All lofted through, header up and above. Briggs has led the team to 17 points in 18 games, so ultimately the results haven't turned yet.
That's a good little pick set on the back post. Ball wasn't hit with enough venom. Didn't go all the way to the backside to find the spin-off from Enzo Martinez. And the willingness to constantly chase the high ball. The next pass onto the front line has really eliminated a lot of options centrally. Need to do a better job of trying to play through there. Doesn't have to be constant, but you have to establish some sort of dominance. Haven't seen enough from either team.
Attempt to cut that back from Chiza. Return to sender. Into Blake. Got separated, and that runs out. You know, Devin, I actually think it's one of the most fascinating things, Birmingham, right? They're 1 win in 11, 7 winless right now. They have 15 points of their 22 in games in which at some point they've trailed. That's 4th most in the league. Behind Tulsa leads the West. The Rowdies were beneath the line, and Loudoun who are top 4. They only have 6 points from the 7 games in which they scored the opening goal this season. So in theory, something's got to give. You take the full allotment tonight, or you're going to look back and go, well, you know, the average team is a lot more like winning 60, 70, 80% of those games.
The understanding that you're going to find a way to win is something that Mark Briggs or Tommy Sohn have yet to be able to inject into the team. Now, Tommy Sohn departs, right? Mm-hmm. The roster, at least in your and I eyes, has always been of the caliber of a playoff team for sure. And a lot of times we've made the argument for a top 4 team. Those expectations have never really been fulfilled. And one of the reasons being leadership. We talked about that in the first half, right? So when you're on the run, you're up 1-0, you make it 2, you make it 3, you really bury a team. When you're behind and trying to chase back into a match, you retain the belief that you can get back into it. Alex Cronali was a big part of that. His departure to San Antonio FC. The running mate with Fanuel Cavina. Defense starts to fluctuate in the wrong direction. But still right there on the playoff line. I keep going back to it, Mike. I understand that it hasn't been all roses and perfume for either one of these teams, but you're still right there. Opportunity is everything. The chip in a chair conversation, right?
And as you get to mid-September, if those questions remain unanswered, it usually means you won't have much of a November. Frustrated Ronaldo Damas. Twice a championship winner, Orange County again last year in Colorado Springs, won League One as well prior to that. Pinballs around and whipped it frame. Chiza, a half chance at best. Really made the most of it.
Done very well for themselves. Last 4 games winning these battles up high. Secondary runner coming back off. A lot of times that ball is being picked up about 40 yards from net. This time as he works down underneath, Edward Chiza does a good job of getting his body turned and trying to put something on frame.
Toward Daly, pops out to Enzo Martinez. Flip it ahead for Damas. Indy up to that task. Fourth official offering a bit more clarity on what occurred here.
Neither team really willing to step in and take control here in the second half. Contact up over the backside for sure. A lot of unnecessary infractions within this game that has caused the tempo to be thrown off.
Schaefer forward, down to Quinn.
What a touch by Aiden Quinn.
Give and go, Quinn back across, tapped in. It's Chiza, it's 1-1. Oh, that is champagne football from Indy 11.
Stick with what you know. Credit to Brian Schaefer. The midfield's up high on the restart, so he just goes direct into the line of pressure. This was the hold-up play I just alluded to. That ball normally comes down underneath. Great read by Aiden Quinn. The initial check out, drawing Dawson McCartney with him. Then he peels off to come back up high. That touch right there is everything. Allowing Williams to spin off. Chizza gets on the back shoulder of Hamuda and Aiden Quinn as he continues to usher the play forward. Perfect amount of pace on the ball, clean on the deck, allowing the striker to pick it up head on and create the equalizer.
You go to the locker room, you put magnets on the board, and you hope it looks like that. Chizza, 54th minute, has his 6th goal in 9 games against Birmingham, tied for the most by any Birmingham opponent all time.
Aiden Quinn now 58 regular season assists. That's tied for 2nd most in USL Championship history.
And he now sits 8 behind the great King Kenny for most in championship history, the recently retired Conardo Forbes.
What a sequence. I mean, that is just, look, it's the understanding by Brian Schaefer to play up high. The stature of Romario Williams on the initial ball to hold it up. Off the screen, Aiden Quinn checking down in. His quick spin off, an explosion over the next 5 yards. 1-2 passing. Clinical. Back to front from Indy 11.
Wow.
Couldn't convince me he's on 32 and no sleep and had a kid a week ago. It's great movement from Aiden Quinn. Continuing on now.
And for Chizza, just his 3rd goal this season. He was able to score a dozen for Pittsburgh last year. You know, he first went on loan to Pittsburgh in 2022, and it was right before the playoffs began that the New England Revolution, who had sent him out on loan, said, hey, we're not picking up your option. So all of a sudden he's left without a parent club to really pay attention, and it basically became a tryout in Pittsburgh, one that ended up landing him 2 more seasons with the Hounds. A good enough campaign last year that he was able to earn a deal in Indy. This overcooked for Quinn. Chizza, just the latest guy to step into that Riverhound front line over the years. Indy never lacks in guys who've scored a lot of goals.
No.
It's Quinzotti, it's Romario Williams.
Dane Kelly.
I know.
Tyler Pasher on the other side tonight, but
Pasher's actually Indy's leading scorer in championship games all time, with Jack Blake, 24 apiece. The aforementioned Blake nods that forward. Mario Williams providing pressure, but Kavita stands up to it. Jake Roof is waiting to come in for the Legion in a moment. Zielinski trying to jar this free of Travis. And that sub will occur right now. First change by either side. Roof for McCartney.
Your substitutions for Birmingham League
6th appearance off the bench, 23rd over the course of the season through 25 games for the Legion from Huntsville, Alabama. At a Grissom High School where he was the Gatorade Player of the Year. Spent time at Indiana, 2 years, never played. Transferred to Western Michigan and had a much stronger run in the MAC. Flick on in front, Ofemu! Ben Ofemu bashes it home. It's all turned around for Indy 11. Their backs against the wall. It's 2 goals in 5 minutes time. Indy leads.
Confusion on the front side of this. The line of pressure that's flat Good movement by Indy 11, and as the ball's whipped in, the way that Aiden Quinn textures it starts to move over that line. There was a run, spin to the backside with James Musa, opened up space for Ofemu in front of him, unmarked by the time the ball reaches him atop the 6. Beautifully designed set piece by Indy 11.
The former Legion player back in 2021. Ben Ofemu grabs his 3rd goal this season. Comes in the 60th minute. And as the clock struck an hour, it's perhaps Birmingham's clock striking midnight. They could be 8 points back with 5 games remaining. They had a lead in this game going into halftime, and it has evaporated. And Indy 11 could move within 1 point of the playoff line. Blake. Could Indy really find a 3rd in such short order? Romario Williams, too far for Blake. Quinn chipping that forward out of the reach of Chiza. Thought we'd take one more look at that goal. There is no VAR in the championship. I don't know that there's anything here that would change it, but Ofemu, is that foot beyond that last defender? I don't know.
Tell. No chance. Look at the player in front of him. Hard to see. The left shoulder of Jake Roof. Never assume anything in life. Certainly not the offside position that was or was not just there.
I promise you, Ben Ofemu knows he was onside. He'll be the first to tell you.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Got to respect him and take care of my center back brethren. Former Brandenburg disciple.
Sure, Bethlehem Steel. You know, my favorite thing about Ben Ofemu, he signed with Bethlehem Steel in the championship. He came out of YSC Academy. This rolls over. Vassell's got a goal already. That will not be a goal. Into the stands. He wrote a thank you letter when he signed that the club released. And I love the fact that he thanked the house moms that were involved in bringing people in, and the YSC is like a full academic campus along with the Union's high school academy. And so you have host families that bring people along, and so Ben Ofemu from Michigan giving that thanks to people who allowed him the chance to grow in that environment.
People forget that there's a life outside of the white lines, and to simplify it, especially for a young player, takes the taxation mentally off of them, allows them to continue to grow as a human much easier than if they were all by themselves. I had a house mother when I went to Germany at first before I got my own apartment. Memories of her still stick with me till this day. Taught me how to use a German laundry machine. Yeah. It's the same as an American one, by the way, although the language is different.
Okay.
Just thought you should know.
Yeah. By the way, the thank yous to the house moms, and then he scores in his debut and runs straight to his mom and celebrated with her. That was back, I think that was at Lehigh Stadium, back where Bethlehem was playing at the time. Changes. Zielinski somehow escaped this game without entering the referee's book. And it is Hayden White coming into the game in his stead. His 12th appearance this season. Signed about this time last year. It's his 19th appearance for the club. Played in all 4 divisions in England. Well, 4 divisions, not all 4. You get the point. Musa collecting. Martinez further. Back into the box. Musa got a cross away. Quinn, whistle blows. That's on Musa. Most of White's time was in the third division and the fourth division. Reached the championship with Bolton. 8 years in League Two. Aiden Quinn bursting free. Indy has 2 goals. What else impresses you about how this half has played out through 20?
Just watching them defensively, 20 minutes into the second half here, the line's been a bit higher. They've tightened the space in the midfield. Kept asking one of these teams to take over. Even though they've continued to bypass it, they've played through it more frequently than we saw in the first half. The identity for Indy 11 is always going to be vertical. But the aggression of Lindley, James Murphy, and Jack Blake, much more frequent, and it's put pressure on Birmingham Legion to really keep the game on the outside or try and play onto that front line. This change, bringing Hayden White on, has made a good move back from injury. I'm watching very closely to see if they drop into a more frequent 4 or if you try and bump one up. For me, you have to keep it a little bit flatter. That means on the right side, you're conceding more space, and you're going to ask Cam Lindley or Jack Blake to rotate over there to close the matchup down against Jackson Travis. Defensively, more bodies. You have the ability to stay a bit more organized on that back line and just game manage for just inside a half an hour.
Offed it up. Maybe a chance to have a go at that. Just away from Birmingham by Murphy. Here is Musa. Shizza's first goal since May 17th. The equalizer. Ben Ofemu in the 60th. Peter Lee Vassell, the opening goal for Birmingham. 23 minutes upcoming that could define 2 seasons all at once. White. Chizza. Williams. Support arriving. Femu. White. And now Quinn. Blake. Musa. Quinn. That took a fairly kind hop. I don't know about that.
Well, my argument was that he was in an offside position off the deflection that came through. Thought he stepped in early. Cam Lindley, Indy 11. Don't read the lips.
Hey, let's take a look at the Best Western upcoming schedule. We are back on the air in just a few nights' time right here on CBS Sports Network. Switchbacks have worked into the top 8 out west. They see New Mexico. Mexico doubles their money next weekend. They take on Lexington. Then October 1st, Down to the final 25 days of the season, Sac Republic chasing the #1 seed, putting a little pressure on Tulsa. See Orange County have the most games remaining left in the championship. Musa whips across. Blake could never quite settle that, could he? Ball from Musa deflects free.
We talked earlier about how good Charleston Battery and Louisville City in the Eastern Conference have been this year. The separation, the 7 games remaining for Orange County is a possible 21 points. If they won all 7 games, they still wouldn't eclipse the point totals that the Charleston Battery and Lou City have put up so far. 60 and 54.
What if they played in the West?
They'd have 80.
This runs out. Speaking of the West, right? We see we've got some real contenders playing here on CBS Sports Network over the next 3 weeks. The stat about Tulsa that blows me away, and they've qualified for the playoffs. Congratulations to Luke Spencer and the whole team there in Tulsa. They lead the league with 20 points from a trailing position this year. They have just nicked points seemingly every week. But Sacramento's hanging around. In your mind, the favorite in the West in a playoff would be what?
Sacramento Republic.
The margins for Tulsa have been so tight,
yeah,
which doubly makes it impressive that they're going to run away potentially down the stretch with the West in the regular season, but makes you wonder. Pasher has waited a long time to get back into a game, and he's going to come on right now. He is Indy's championship era leader in goals scored with Jack Blake on 24. Stephen Turnbull coming into the game as well was part of Rhode Island's run to the championship final last year. Second sub window utilized by Birmingham.
Your substitutions for Birmingham Legion
And Sebastian Tregarthen in for Daly as well. So Birmingham has used 4 subs. Martinez, Musa, those gangly limbs. Pasher. You and I called one of the most staggering goals over the last decade in this league. Tyler Pasher in Pittsburgh, 2020, no crowds, home venues, and just a laser beam against the Hounds.
The supporters group from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Steel Army are somewhere having fun with that mention just there.
How so?
Off the record, as everybody's listening, they have a fun game that every time his name is mentioned on a broadcast, they partake in a celebratory sip of whatever beverage may or may not be in front of them.
Pasher, Pasher, Pasher. This run's too far for number 15 in whatever color jersey that is.
Get him healthy. That's the most important thing for Tyler Pasher. Struggled with that over the past couple of seasons. Did well for himself, to be fair, after the successful stint. 24 regular season goals and 60 appearances. Ended in 2020 for Indy 11. Went to the Houston Dynamo. Became a super sub of sorts. They decided not to retain him. Red Bull said, you know what, we'll give it a shot. No reps there, and then basically since the midpoint of 22, health became a concern. Speed is the biggest asset that he possesses, and then certainly wonder strikes. He'll rip it from anywhere. But without the speed, it slowed the game down for him and has allowed everybody else to catch up to him.
Asher now 31. And this potential head injury causes a stop, and that's Chizza who's down.
Tyler Pasha, though, does possess the potential to continue his evolution. He can play down in that pocket a bit. I wouldn't say that you have to go there all the time, but he possesses the capability to play into his feet. The idea of the game slowing down for him, now it's about the mental side speeding up just to start to create with his teammates around him.
Chizza just took the knock, and his number is already written on a card. It's whether they yank him now or yank him in a minute. Collier and Rendon are the next in for Sean McCauley. Looks like this may have allowed a tactical adjustment of sorts. Rendon off the bench for just the 4th time this year, in from Northern Colorado, League One Defender of the Year. And Elliot Collier in as well. It's the end of the night for Edward Chizza. 55th minute equalizing goal. He had the easiest job in that whole bit.
Sure, but the run at the end.
Yeah.
Still had to get into the open space and be patient on the back post. A lot of strikers would have tried to crash the box there. Well done to see the movement in front of him. And a quality performance. Job well done for the 9.
The first time again that he's scored since, I mean, was it even summer yet? May? So Rendon and Collier in for Chizza and Williams. And Indy will try and lock down very important home result. Sean McCauley almost laughed at the concept. I go, well, you know, a bunch of home games coming up down the stretch, and he goes, home's been pretty difficult for us, actually. Well, this could put them on level footing at home. A win here would make them 5-5-3 with 2 home games remaining. The problem being those home games, Tulsa, top team in the West, and Loudoun, who may well need those points, the penultimate game of the regular year.
Felt our conversation with Sean McCauley about the schedule was very glass half full.
Well, he goes, look, if you're a pessimist, because I said, isn't that Murderer's Row? He goes, yeah, pessimist would say that, so I guess I'll put my hand up. He goes, the optimist will sit there and say, well, you know, is Orange County the last day going to be in or out? Are they going to know? What do they have to play for? In Louisville, at some point, they're going to drop points, right? And so he sort of, I think, willed himself into the playoffs in that chat.
Ton of respect for doing so.
Yeah.
And at least for the moment, has answered the call right. And be careful here. All that aggression we talk about for Cam Lilly as he steps out a little bit. He'll get some more support with Aiden Quinn, who can pinch here because of that flat 4. But as you release, you're also opening up space for the creativity that has been Peter Lee Vassell. It's about calculating your odds of when you absolutely need to step. 10 minutes to go, sitting on that 1-goal lead.
Blake. Peter Lee Vassell. Asher. Vassell wide. Sliced out by White. He lost the handle. Whistle's blown. Turnbull and Tabor Itaka were nearly off on the run. Preston Tabor Itaka, the 5th and final sub for Birmingham a moment ago. Came on for Enzo Martinez.
That's about pace, bringing Preston on. Enzo had trouble finding rhythm within the game. His relationships with the rest of that front line, certainly the midfielders down underneath, never truly found any form tonight. With Preston, as the game continues to open itself up, you play more direct. He gives you that ability to chase.
Blake, give and go off Rendon. It's a bit of an awkward clearance, but mission accomplished.
Have I ever asked you, if you were in the supporter section, what instrument, handheld or not, you'd be playing?
Hilariously, you've asked me this once. It was 2018, and I asked
Mayonnaise.
you, is mayonnaise an instrument?
Don't think you're a percussion guy. Jazz flute, maybe.
I am a poor flautist.
Recorder?
Played it once. If you're in a Christmas concert and you're under the age of, what, 7, you've played the recorder. Tregarthen. Well, Indy is on the verge of doing something pretty vital here. Off a couple consecutive defeats at Charleston and then at Rhode Island. Brickyard Battalion, saxophone. You know, that sax really comes through well. You hear the drums, but I think the saxophone's underrated. Well, that is a silly foul from Birmingham. Pasher hasn't even turned the corner yet, and there's a shove in the box. You do strike me as a percussionist.
Do tell.
You'd be pretty good with some drums.
My brother played saxophone.
Which means that was not an instrument for you.
I was in the
brother played
choir.
the trumpet, but you don't see me bringing that up until, until now.
That's much better. Look at all the space in the middle of the field. Cut back across, release it now. That's better decision making. Jake Roof's got to continue that ball. Some of the touches right now, taking 10 when only 5 or 4 are necessary. Allowing Indy to reestablish themselves behind the ball, slows the game down, and then eliminates the threats once you push up high.
Bordy Taka flights this right to Pruder. Birmingham have 0 shots in the last 34 minutes. Oh, wow. Rendon just reached in his bag. Offers the service. Blake arriving. And the step from Roof is clean. Or so it is called. And Birmingham spared their blushes. They're still alive. Tregarthen just got usurped by Murphy. This is still somehow a live ball. And now they're going to go back to the injury on the other end.
Certain that Jack Blake gets a touch on this ball. The angle, very difficult to tell as to whether or not there was contact. If so, it's on the inside of the right leg, just underneath the hip. Good push on the tempo. That touch, you can't tell. Not from that angle. Jake Roof dead in his tracks.
Does he make contact with anything?
I can't tell if he touches him at all. Again, Jack Blake is certainly the one who touches the ball, but as Jake Roof comes through, the first one, wondered maybe. The second one, almost looks like he gets dead air.
We get to look at this 100 times. Of course, Alyssa Pennington does not.
This is the best angle you're going to get. Still don't see if he hits him or not. Your mind and imagination feels like it comes off the right knee, right?
Uh-huh.
Can you with all certainty tell me that it does?
No.
And from the angles that we're privy to, now track back, put yourself in the referee's position, coming at an angle from behind.
She is top of the 18.
Correct.
And she is
coming to her left.
Right. So she is looking directly through the body.
I'd make the argument that she's got the best viewpoint out of anyone.
And the other side of this is Jack Blake's not one to, I think, feign.
Never has been in his career.
So again, we get to look at this. Alyssa Pennington does not. Here we go again.
That leaves a little bit more to the imagination, the left foot, but here.
And you saw the referee off the right side of your screen leading into that too.
Yeah, the first one, when it comes a little bit more restricted over the left shoulder, you feel like there's contact, but as the camera angle starts to pivot to the right and you can lean over Jack Blake's right shoulder, feels like it's more open.
Sean McCauley is still arguing that point. Ball was out of play for nearly 2 minutes. Corner for Birmingham. They've teed this up for a blast. Wide. Well, Vassell scored a scorcher earlier in the game. He's only been here for a couple of weeks and he had to go.
One thing that happens in emotional games that are late in terms of minutes, Mike, is your mind starts to focus on just what's in front of you and you forget about the second and third option that could be. It's good marks inside the top of the 18, but as it pops out, everybody very slow to react. Have to stay locked in there. That's also on Luke Pruder in goal, pushing every player out to put some pressure on the strike from distance.
This game started in the low 80s temperature-wise too. There's still that last drip of summer in Indianapolis. It is a warm day and you can double it on turf. Tired minds with a lot of physicality in this game too. Tabor Itaka plays square. It's left off by Vassell. Damas. The fight's there. That's not lacking. Davida to Garthen. Now upfield past Murphy. Free kick, Birmingham, won by Damas.
Given the lack of opportunities that have been here in the second half, certainly the goal in the first, the response by Indy, I'd take every bit to think about what you want to do here. Big bodies off the back line. Haven't been good in the overall run of play. I'd put this in the box. I would not put it back on the deck and try and play.
Alas, maybe 5 minutes or so stoppage time, inclusive of that stoppage for the injury to Jack Blake a moment ago. Still a ways to go. Tabor Itaka throw. Birmingham has not won since July 11th in the league. That could continue here. You come in saying a point wasn't enough. They take it now. Without a victory, they would be essentially 3 games out with 5 games remaining. An extraordinary hill to climb right at the end of the year. If this result holds, Indy moves within a point of the playoff line. And that would be Rhode Island at 30. They'd also be within a game of Detroit, who've been up and down the second half of the season. Fair to say top 6 in the East, that's settled. Louisville, Charleston, Loudoun, North Carolina, Hartford, Pittsburgh. Feel good about that?
I feel really good about the top 5.
Asher returns, comes back to Vassell. Whistled, already blown. Belongs to Indy. Say top 5?
I feel very good about the top 5. A little bit nervous about the Pittsburgh Riverhounds down the stretch here. It's been very up and down. You know, there's the result that there are some extracurriculars that have yet to be decided about what happened in the Hartford Athletic game. That would, if it was admitted and final, that's a really good result, right? But you can't then turn around and drop points to the Rowdies. That's been the year for pretty much everyone from 6 all the way down to 12. That's why there's only 13 points in separation, which with 5 games remaining seems like a lot.
Well, 5 games remaining is the first time that it does seem like a lot. It felt really tight for the first, 20, 23, 24 weeks of the year.
The biggest thing for me with 5 up, not for me, the biggest thing is that all 5 of them have a clear-cut identity. Hartford will attack at a moment's notice and make you feel it. North Carolina will sit and counter. Loudoun, they're trying to find a balance. It seems that they have. Charleston Battery and Louisville, good all over the field. Everybody else, Pittsburgh down to Miami, flashes in a pan from game to game.
This is Josh O'Brien. 2 minutes into 6 of stoppage time. The end of the night for Aiden Quinn, who pushes ever higher in the championship's all-time assist category. Helped tee up Edward Kizza's 55th minute equalizer. Ofemu scored the 60th to battle back from an early deficit when Peter Lee Vassell scored from a free kick. Tabor Itaka. It's ripped away by Schaefer. And there's more argument being had here. Everybody getting pulled away. There's Turnbull and Ofemu. Oh, that's gone on again, and Turnbull just threw Ofemu away. It is a yellow for that. Lindley's gone in now. Pushing and shoving continues. They were just separated by the referee.
You're right in front of the head referee. Cannot be this foolish to allow it to continue. Wondered from afar if it was going to be a red. That elbow, tell you, very lucky he doesn't make contact. And intent is an interesting conversation to have here. Seen referees talk about it, talking to her AR right now, making sure everybody got a view. The intent could be just as bad as the infraction and contact itself.
Well, a little spice here at the end. Kavita throws it in. Run down by Pasher. If Lindley's smart, yeah, he's gonna let that run through. Well, because Lindley is smart. Yeah, if you're Turnbull and Ofemu,
just get away from it.
Right.
There's nothing there. All roads lead to trouble. And especially outside of this result. Still got 5 more games around the corner. Have to make yourself available for the manager.
Dump down into the corner, and Birmingham, they've got about 100 yards to go. We had that whole yellow card kerfuffle in stoppage, so seeing this hit 7 minutes maybe wouldn't be all that much of a shock. Vita and Collier. Birmingham just can't get this out of this end. Throw from Musa as time winds down. Free kick as we eclipse the 6 minutes. Collier, the Meg, to an offside Jack Blake.
Of course it is.
All right, it's got to be right now for Birmingham. Hamoda up the line. Recovered by Indy. Carried into the box. Rolled back. Header upfield from Rendon. Oh my, we're going to go past 7 minutes now. Launched upfield. And full time arrives. Indy 11 come from behind for their biggest 3 points of the season. They move within a point of the playoff line. Shiza and Ofemu, the goal scorers, and Indy 11 defend home ground when they needed to. A 5th straight win against the Legion, and they snap a 2-game losing skid to stay very much alive. They had to have it, and they do. So Birmingham arrives. They strike an epic blow in the 12th minute of play from Peter Levisell. But what turned into a very physical affair saw Chiza and Ofemu score in about a 5-minute span to lead Indy to the win. We wrap it up next. The USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Back in Indy, the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Birmingham Legion see their winless drought expand to 8 games, and Indy snaps a 2-game skid, 3 points that take them within 1 point of the playoff line. Dev, look at the standings and your final thoughts tonight.
Start with Birmingham Legion. Certainly an opportunity lost tonight, but still with 5 games to go, still with a chance. It's slim. They do have Eastern Conference opponents. The problem is no one really with any relevance in front of them. The easiest going to be Miami FC on October 19th. Indy 11, similar type of conversation for them. The only opponent they can really gain any ground on are the Pittsburgh Riverhounds on October 11th. Indy, second most difficult schedule remaining in all the championship. Birmingham Legion, 7, still not going to easy road on the way in.
So the top 8 make the playoffs. These sides finish the day beneath, but it's Birmingham who see their odds drop significantly, and Indy buoyed by a 2-1 win. Vassell in the 12th minute, his first goal for Birmingham. A stunner, but it's Chiza and Afemu in the second half that win it for Indy 11. For Devin Kerr, our entire crew, Mike Watts saying this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Check, check. There we go. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brady confirming all 3 goals, right? On cam, all 3 goals. Got it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to make a comment, or do you want to lead us right into the highlights?
Huh?
Do you want me to make a comment, or do you want to go right into the highlights?
No, let's do the job. We're there.
Check 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Cool. It's about points drop from a leading position. I was just texting them about